We are live. We are live for another stream. I'm here with the wonderful Amanda Steadman, and we are talking about not taking your problems so seriously. And we were just having a chat here, and we thought, do you know what? We might as well just do it on a live stream. We're just going to have the chat that we would have had on a live stream because I'm really excited because Amanda's coming over to London in a couple of weeks. So we were discussing what could we do? What could we do? So what's going on in your world at the moment, Amanda? What's happening?
Well, a lot of people, again, are having their feet put to the fire. And since the last moon, which was about 3 weeks ago, I feel like I've been catapulted into a completely different timeline. And I think it's very fitting because obviously we all have big challenges and problems. And we were robbed literally 3 weeks ago with a phone. And it was just another wake-up call to remind you that, be careful what you wish for, because I was upset about it, and within 24 hours, my guide said, "Yeah, but your daughter put a thought into the field. Wouldn't it be nice to have a new phone?" So we just produced an event to get a new phone, and so the moral of the story is, not taking yourself so seriously. But on that note as well, be careful what thoughts you're putting out there, because the universe went, okay, she needs a new phone, so why don't we just give your phone to somebody else that needs it, and also your wallet and all the birthday presents you bought in the bag that got stolen. So yeah, there's just crazy stuff going on. I can't even, it's very hard to even put into words. I just know that there's this kind of, the lazy rivers. I feel like I've been going uphill, and I've just sat myself in one of those nice big inflatable rings, and I'm just going, okay, I'm going down the lazy river. I'm just surrendering and letting go. I've always been a type A, make it happen. And so, yeah, I want to be in that lazy river and not take the problem so seriously. I want to hand it up to my divine team and go, okay, this is too big for me. You guys deal with it. I'm going off to have a cup of cocoa. Which I have. I have my cup of cocoa here, which is Mayan cocoa. So that's going to open my heart. So if any of you, if you're feeling a bit down or lonely, get yourself some cacao. We're not talking Cadbury's milk chocolate here. We're talking cacao. Little bit of water, little bit of honey, and it opens your heart right up. So my little cheer yourself up tip for today.
Well, fair play. That sounds like a great tip. We'll talk about not taking it so seriously. I played football last night, and I got the ball absolutely smacked into my face. So much it's cut. I've cut all of the inside of my lip here from my teeth. I was dazed. I had to hang on to the side part, because I was seeing treble at the time. And
oh my God. So the universe is saying, wake up, Adam.
Wake up, Adam. Yeah.
No problems. You have no problems, Adam. Smack.
Well, the thing is, I can't help it. I go into sort of leadership mode when I go on the football pitch, because if I see players, and none of us are getting any younger. We're all sort of old boys. We're all sort of in the 50 plus bracket.
I thought you were 23.
Well, in our mind, in my mind, I've never aged beyond 21. I just don't understand why my body doesn't get it. Why my body's it's not playing. My body just won't play. And there I was shouting at everyone else, and suddenly I got the ball absolutely smashed into my face last night. And it was it's almost like the universe. It was like a Monty Python moment. Get on with it. Shut up.
So everybody that's watching, let's just send a little bit of healing to Adam now. And what was the learning? Probably, you have no problems, Adam. Just wake up. We're all here to support you, and you have no problems. Everything's good. Wake up a bit more.
If you want to put out assertive vibes to everyone else, then you have to be prepared to take them on the receiving end.
I'm just sad that it wasn't captured on video. You could have put that out, and I think that probably would have gone viral, Adam.
Well, do you know what? One thing that I will say, I mean, we played last night, it was 5-a-side, and we started the game. For the first half of it, we were terrible, absolutely terrible. We were getting absolutely hammered. I think we were about 6 goals down or something stupid. In fact, we lost count. We were losing so badly in the first half. And then I just started, no, I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to start complimenting people. I'm going to start telling them when they're doing good stuff. I'm going to be more encouraging. I'm going to stop shouting so madly at everyone now. And you know what? Fair play to all these old boys. They all got their act together, and we made a game of it. And nobody knows what the final score is, because I don't think anyone was counting, but we definitely took the second half of the game.
Yeah.
And do you know, it's interesting. I've played football, and I know you've done a few sports in your time, and it's, you know, it's very easy to be good when everyone else is good around you. But the hardest thing in life, and I think it's a good metaphor, when you're absolutely down and out, when things are just not going against you, it's really difficult to stop the rot. And so to be able to do that last night in the football game felt hugely satisfying. Whether we won or not, it doesn't matter. The fact that we actually made a game of it and turned the game around was a really good thing. So that's always a winner. We've got Altug in the house. Look.
There's Altug.
Hello, Adam. The notification for live video appeared after the live started. Well, I'm glad that it appeared at all, Altug, because from what I'm hearing lately, I mean, people don't get to see. But what this is telling me, we've got 4 Jedis on the stream listening in, and thank you for being the first one to jump in there. As you know, I like to make this as interactive as possible. And me and Amanda, we can talk all day, every day. She's my soul sister. Like we can just ramble on and on and on and on. But she's also incredibly intuitive and tapped in, and she's my go-to guide if I hit a brick wall. So I think what we do when we both get together is we've got this thing where we'll be able, even if we're in a dense energy, to laugh at each other. And you can really jolt someone out when you want to say what bastards everybody is, or what they're arseholes and this kind of stuff. It really helps to have somebody that'll just start laughing at you, because what it does, it absolutely transforms the nature of the energy that you're in. And once you're laughing, it's completely transformed. So it's actually a really good thing to have someone in your network that can do that for you. And Amanda is my go-to guide when it comes to stuff like this.
We just like to transmute all of that into laughter. And obviously on the neuro side, we call it a pattern interrupt. We just go in and and Adam and I have a very similar sense of humor, and we just see very, very different side of life. And it doesn't matter what's going on, we always manage to find a way around it or over it, and to encourage each other, because we've both been on this spiritual journey for we've known each other for many, many years and gone through lots of different things together, and amalgamated a lot of wisdom, a lot of very high vibrational energy. And we're on a path where we really want to make a difference in this world. And I think the title of today, which is, not saying to demean any of your problems, but my thing is, we're always like one thought away from changing everything. And we have, from the traumas that you've gone through and from everything you're experiencing now, there's so many beliefs that we're laid with, thousands and thousands of beliefs. And I've been working the last couple of weeks on my own, just turning them round. I was on a call yesterday, because even I have healers that I work with and I get mentored. And we had a guest expert yesterday, and she was saying, okay, what are the things that are coming up? Let's just talk about like money. Many of us I know out there have money or financial challenges. And she was saying, just kind of do the opposite. It's like, oh, money this, money that. She said, why don't you just really just allow money to come to you easily? And I know we know that consciously, but to start saying every day, oh, it's so easy to earn money. We've been so programmed and conditioned that we have to work like donkeys to get money. What if your reality was money just shows up? Money just shows up just because you're awesome. And I think because our thoughts are really powerful, if you really just go into your heart and start saying, you know what, I'm ready to just receive money for absolutely no reason. I've started playing with it this week, and I got, I think, 3 new clients this week just by going. It's so easy to allow fabulous clients in and really just believing it. So my little tip today is really pick a belief around whatever your big problem is and just make it fun. Like, I can't think of another example right now. I'm got a story from Wayne Dyer. We have things that we think are absolutely set, and it's not true. It's not true. So just, you are the driver, guys. Pick a belief that you would like, that is the, you know, the opposite of what you're going through right now. Just pick a belief. And I'm not talking about just affirmations. I'm really talking about a belief and embodying it in your body. And there's a story that's coming to my mind now about Wayne Dyer. I remember he was in hospital talking to someone, and this woman was very depressed because she had one leg that was very damaged and one that wasn't. She was, they thought she was going to lose her left leg. And he said to her, oh, so you think that there's a problem because you think this leg should be as perfect as the other one? And he made her laugh. So with that story, again, we make up things that we have, you know, I'm not successful until. I'm working with a very interesting client at the moment, and he doesn't feel like he's successful until he's made the company, until he's successful, until he's got the girlfriend. All these things, you've made up so many rules to make life difficult for yourself. We're always going to have problems. We're always going to have shit thrown at us. So be a bit like Life of Brian, you know, always look on the bright side of life. What belief or one thing can you just turn around today to just say, hey, my problems are so easy to solve. I don't have any problems. Yeah. So I just wanted to percolate and sow that seed there. Sorry, Adam's getting carried away there. Your turn.
No, not at all. I think you've brought some really good points up there, and just said that Lindsay's arrived. Great to see you. Two of my Jedis already jumped on the thread. Always good to have you here. And I think this is a really good point, isn't it? That it's very easy to get drawn into it because left to your own devices, and especially because it's awakening time, isn't it? That the stuff that is coming at us, and I know that we've had these conversations, it's so high level. It's like boss level narcissists showing up and really massive challenges coming into our world, that it is so easy to be drawn into the energy of anger or rage or what the hell's going on, or frustration or whatnot. And really, as order to turn things around, quite often it's just a friend or a pointer in a different direction to get us refocused. To get us refocused in a better direction. I see Tammy's in the house as well. We've got the American contingent has joined us now. She's over from the same side of the pond as you, Amanda. So good morning, Amanda and Adam from America. Hey. I also got notice after things started, but I'm here. You're here. So did they not, I'm guessing that they didn't even tell you that this was scheduled, so that you're here despite the fact that it wasn't scheduled or displaying up. I've told you guys, you know, my regulars know that YouTube's probably shadow banned me for all the profanity that I've used. They're probably like, Jesus Christ, what is he going on about now? And there he is blaspheming as well. Blasphemy.
But we're live.
Profanity. We're live. Here we are live. They're probably like, there's as few lunatics as possible will get on this thread because we know what they're like. So Altug says, hello, Tammy. We all got notifications after it started. So fair play to you all. So yes, it is about mixing it up. It's very easy to be drawn into the darkness, but to be able to jolt yourself out into a more productive direction, everybody needs the ability to be able to do that. And I think you've brought up some really good points there. So let's talk about that. So the last time that you were in a really dense energy, how did you turn it around? And how do you catch yourself? Because this is a really good question. If you don't have that friend around, how long really is it okay to spend in like fury before you turn it around?
Well, when the bag got stolen, I was pretty pissed off because we'd just given like 4 or 5 bags to charity. I just tithed some money, and we were having a great mother and daughter time just before that bag got stolen. So I have to say, I went into expletive mode. I wasn't Mrs. Zen calm. I was just like, because I'd had my hand on the bag the whole time. You know, we're aware, we're in Mexico, we're in a market. It's a perfect opportunity to get robbed. I mean, seriously. But Ava wanted this dress and she was showing me the dress. And so I took my hand off the bag to go into my bag to pay for what she was. And so I took my attention off that bag that was right in front of me on the table. And so when I realized it had gone, I was like, just been done. And Ava was going, oh no, it must be him. Mummy. I'm like, no, it's gone, Ava. It's gone. And I was upset because it was birthday presents for a friend. It was my daughter's phone. And up until that point, I kept putting my daughter's phone in my bag, which was under my arm. So then I went through, it's my fault. Then I got, you know, really angry at Mexico. I was like, damn it. But then I remembered that, you know, I've lost a few things. A phone was taken out of my car. A camera was taken out my bag when I was in Starbucks. So in 9 years, you know, they've stolen 3 things. And we were taking pictures with the phone. So I think we were followed, to be honest. So I went into anger for probably a good hour. And then I just kept thinking, okay, what's the message here? What's the message here? The message is here is we're abundant. I can go and buy a new phone. And I always go, they need it more than us. They're going to sell it, do whatever. You know, that's my other donation. So it did take me about an hour because I was tired and hot to get out of the anger. And then within an hour, I flipped it. Normally, I can do it in 5 minutes. But it did take me a bit longer because it was my daughter's phone. And I did go through all the guilt of it was my fault. And so, yeah, it took me a good hour. But normally it's like 5. And what I did was just really focus on, okay, what's the message? And what can I be grateful for this? We weren't hurt. We weren't, you know, we could have been physically hurt. They could have pushed us over. Something could have happened. I just went into gratitude. So for me, whenever I'm in a corner, I just go into gratitude and keep thinking, you know, it could have been worse. That's a very British thing for you Americans. Could have been worse. It could have been much worse. So then I go, it's just a bloody phone, isn't it? And then, like I said, I got the download a day later. Your daughter asked for a new phone, so she manifested it. So I said to my children, please be careful what you manifest and make sure when you put the thoughts out that you say in a nice way. Can I get a new phone in a nice, normal way? Gratitude, going into gratitude, no matter where you are, no matter what bad situation it can always be worse. So just turn it around and focus on anything that you can be grateful for. That's generally saved me.
That's a really good point, isn't it? I mean, and not only that, I mean, there's no judgment here. It's completely normal and natural. I mean, we've been going through processes, especially Lindsay and Altug here, going through the Jedi Training Academy, of actually sometimes for empaths, it's just as important to allow yourself to stay in the rage or the anger so that you really, truly get the message that the universe is trying to give you.
Yeah.
And a lot of that time it is about boundary setting and, you know, realizing enough is enough. Because if you let it go too early and then it resets, you'll just repeat it down the line, won't you? So it's difficult to say, you know, that there's any right amount of time on that basis, because some need it more than others, don't they? What would you say on that subject?
In terms of the timing?
Yeah. And not only that, but the necessity to allow yourself to feel anger occasionally as a highly sensitive person or as an empath. After a lifelong of people pleasing and sucking it up and taking it on the chin, you know, how important is it, the other side of the coin here, to stay in the pissed offness long enough to get the message? I mean, not just truly get it, but to own it, to say, right, that's it. It's not going to happen again. I'm not going to put up with this. Yeah,
some of my family members have really, really tested me over the last years, and they just really know how to push my buttons. So it was definitely a learning to let it go. And because emotions are energy in motion, we are here to experience all the range of emotions. And I think it's really important, again, because even myself, because I'm like the Zen teacher, I hear my head, oh, you shouldn't be getting angry. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to get angry, because I get angry with my family as well. My trigger is if I'm not being appreciated, because I give a lot. If I'm not being appreciated by my family, I will lose my shit with my family. And my kids know it. And then they're like, oh, I think we need to be a little bit more tidy around the house. We need to be kinder to mummy. So I have to sometimes get angry with them for them to get that message, because they slip into complacency. And also even with my husband, I'll go, you haven't appreciated that, and I need more attention. I need more love. And so I will go into anger. And so I've shown my children that it's okay to express anger, as long as you're not hurting anyone and throwing too many things around the room. It's got to come up and out. The energy always has to come up and out. So suppressing it will create problems in the body, especially anger, or not expressing yourself. Anything that you're not expressing, especially emotions, anger gets stuck in the kidneys a lot. Frustration gets stuck in the liver. Those are 2 areas which even for me, I probably haven't let go enough of, because I've had some challenges in those areas. So I think the most important thing is to listen to your body. I know you do. Some of you are quite intuitive. So listen to your body. You'll feel when it needs to come up and out. And You know, the old school is what? Go into your room, stick a pillow over your face and scream into the pillow. It still works. You know, you've got to get it up and out, whatever works for you, as long as it's not hurting somebody else, then it is important to get it up and out. And you can have little pattern interrupts, you know. I'm going to steal this from Tony Robbins. My husband and I, because he has a different communication style, he's French, he talks very loudly. So for me, I felt he was shouting at me. So we created a word called, it's called Peshwari Naan bread. So if we're arguing and we know that we love each other and we're just escalating into ego, one of us says Peshwari Naan bread, and it's nothing to do with what we're talking about. And then it gets us out of the anger. We express some of the anger, but we break the pattern with just a stupid word that breaks our pattern interrupt. So for those of you who are going into anger and you feel you've expressed it enough, you can also use a pattern interrupt, which breaks it. You can still express it, but it doesn't mean you have to go into a complete spiral and a complete argument. So that's something else that I use as well. But listen to your body. It knows how to get it out, and just express it in the best, most easiest way for you.
Well, fair play. And to Altug, I mean, maybe you need to stay angry a little bit longer, but then you're right. I mean, if your government workers need rich cars, beautiful girls, and cocaine, then that's an expensive habit. There's 3 expensive habits they've got. So they're going to need to rip you off for a few quid. Unfortunately, corruption runs rife. It's like a lunatic asylum here in the UK at the moment. It really is. It's like Comedy Central, except it's really actually happening. Like lunatic government, absolute lunacy going on over here. You're
well,
never.
Yes, go carry on.
No, go on. I will just summarize it by saying it is a lunatic asylum that we're living in at the moment, especially here in the UK.
Well, I'm just coming on vacation, so when I come to the UK, I protect my energy before I get there, and also my kids are coming, so I protect the energy before we come here, because generally it's a denser energy than other countries. And I found the last time I came back, my energy was so strong from the minute. It's really funny because I got robbed just before I left Mexico. I completely forgot about that time, actually. I put $200 in a bag in my carry-on, and I was expecting to take the little carry-on on the bus with me. And then my husband came back to give me an extra hug and a kiss, because obviously I was going by myself for a while. Anyway, I took my eyes off the bag, and the guy that put the bag underneath the bus took the money. So when I got to the airport, I had 0 cash, and I left the money in the carry-on. I didn't have it in the bag that was with me, because I hide money in different places. But the minute I got to the UK, everything went right. Everything went right. And I was actually with Adam, and I was whining because I didn't have anybody to go to Magic Mike with. We were in a pub, and there was this American voices behind me. So I just got chatting to these people. And within 15 minutes, I told them I need to go. I'd love to go to Magic Mike, but I don't have anyone to go with. And they went, we'll go with you. And within that they'd known me 15 minutes. She got on her phone, booked 4 tickets. And then she said, let's all go tomorrow. And I was like, oh my God. And Adam was with me for that day, and everything just lined up. We had so much fun. Everyone was kind to us. Everyone kind of went out their way to help us. And we just had a lot of fun because we were in a completely different energy. So you can flip it, but you've got the power, guys. You've got the power to flip it.
We even run into one of Harry Potter's relatives. So, I mean, it was properly magic in every set of the word. So Tammy said that the lunatics are in charge there, and Lindsay says, I agreed. Such chaotic energy in the UK. It's dense here. So it is. I think globally there is a lot of dense energy at the moment, and people that are sensitive to it are going to be feeling it. Certainly you guys that are listening in now, you're feeling it. You know what it's like. And if there's one thing I'll tell you the thing that's been coming up for me lately, watching that old film Highlander. So I don't know, for all of the people of our generation, mine and Amanda's, you'll see Highlander. It was actually a mad, the story behind the film is even brilliant, but the film itself is about a bunch of immortals. The only way they can die is if someone cuts their head off. And you've got the good ones and the bad ones, and suddenly they all feel drawn to this thing called the quickening, and it's good versus evil, and they're trying to cut each other's head off. But they're just drawn towards things, and they're having these fights. And whenever they cut the head off of one of them, they energize, they get all their energy off them. And, I've been feeling a bit of that sort of energy, getting the energy and tapping into it all at the moment. And I think people that are sensitive to energy are waking up to this. There's a lot of bad actors out there. There's a lot of bad governments. There's a lot of bad practice. And it's time. You're feeling uncomfortable. We're feeling uncomfortable for a reason, because now we're being called to step up.
So everything you do, even all you guys on the call here, every thought you think, every word, every deed counts. Every little ounce of positive energy counts. And whatever you're facing, I know that sometimes it feels quite a kind of heavy and dense, but just stick with it. Everybody's needed now, and you're in touch with Adam and us now for a reason, because you are awake. You are in that vibration. You're in that wavelength of people that are awake, that have the power to change things. And I'm just going to say that the dark side, the dark side are struggling. They're struggling now. So they're pulling out they're throwing their toys out the pram. They're trying all these different tactics. And if you look at what's happening on the news, I mean, it's like watching reality TV, and nothing seems real to me. I don't watch the news very often, but I don't trust anything out there anymore. Between AI and the news channels, we've really got to do that internal work to know what's true for us and not pay attention to all of that programming. Even stuff on Netflix, ads, everything, it's all pre-programming, and it's at an all-time high to make sure that we stay in our place and that we're entertained. I mean, you guys might be Netflix fans. I'm really not a big Netflix fan, because to me it's a complete life suck. And a lot of those programs in there, I mean, it really confused my children in terms of sexuality and stuff. So we don't really watch Netflix. And then they suck you into series and they're like, oh, there's 7 seasons of blah, blah, blah. 7 seasons times 10 hours is 70 hours that you're not tuned into who you really are, and you're not wielding power, and you're not attracting money. It's 70 hours of relaxation, but it's a distraction. And so there's so much distraction out there, from TikTok to social media. It's just be really aware, and don't let them take your energy and your time if you don't want them to. Stay true to who you are and keep in that really positive energy, and you're going to manifest a whole different ball game. And now is the time to be really aware of that, and Adam's helping you with that.
And so is Amanda. Well, she's certainly helping me with it, and it really does. I've been talking a lot lately about finding your tribe, and the fact that a lot of empaths are feeling lonely and isolated at the moment, because waking up's brutal. Taking the red pill is a brutal thing. That the hardest thing to wake up to is the fact that so few people took the red pill. And when you are awake and you start to see that, why would so many people around me take the blue pill? I just don't get it. And it's a very isolating journey, isn't it? So finding groups like this, where people meet, the people that have similar interests, the red pill brigade, the empaths waking up brigade, is going to be a bit of light relief for people, because and certainly I know for myself, and I know sometimes for yourself, Amanda, that it can be a very lonely journey along this, especially when all of your network or your vibe tribe are all off around on their different parts of the globe, shining their light in the various pockets of darkness that they find themselves in. That it's so necessary, isn't it, just to have that point of contact, like an anchor, to say, right, well, at least I know I'm going to be meeting up with these guys next week. How important do you think that is?
I think I know. I mean, I've been part of a healing group. I went to a big event about 5 years ago, so I'm part of a healing group that meets every Tuesday, and we do healings for about 6 or 7 people every Tuesday. So it's literally just connecting to the field, sending energy to them, and the things that we've done just in that small group of 10 to 20 people is mind blowing. And they're all around the world. So those are like my real kind of super high vibration, super affluent group. They're just, even higher vibe than I am. So it's staying in that slipstream is really important. I'm also super lucky because I am in the Riviera Maya, and where I am right now, I'm like literally 100 meters from a Mayan ruin, and the energy vortexes here are really big. I'm very lucky because I've been here 9 years. I've built my own tribe locally. So I have people that come to me for meditations every Tuesday and Thursday. I have a big client base of hypnotherapy and healing clients. And so I'm known as Amanda, the hypnotherapist and the channeler. So I've built a network of people that are on this journey, and they come to me for answers, but I enable them to make sure that I do my best to activate their intuition so they get the answers themselves. My job is for them not to need me, but to activate them. So when I channel, the codes come through and they get activated. So I'm very lucky to have that local base. But if you haven't got that, I'm tell you, no, you are not alone. There are hundreds and thousands of us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and it's growing. I've seen more of our type of channels grow than anything else. And I think you're on Rumble as well. Is it Rumble you're on, Adam?
I did go on Rumble, but I'm still not sure about Rumble.
Okay,
all I get is people telling me that they can increase my exposure on Rumble and get me more views. So I've not had any meaningful interaction via my Rumble account. But yes, it's a backup, because I know that YouTube have shadow banned me a couple of times, and I know I skirt close to the edge, as my regulars will know. So I could be I'm certainly on borrowed territory, but am I on borrowed time? You never know. But I can't live in fear of that either. So it's it's the yin and the yang, isn't it?
But the point I just want to make is, guys, you are not alone. So just keep doing your thing, keep putting your stuff out there, keep being true to who you are, and the more you do that, people will find you. I was at a crypto event sitting next to this girl, and she looked at me and she went, "You're not from here," and I went, "Kind of, no." And then she talked about some other stuff, and there was another guy, and he went, "Oh, we were just kind of telepathically." The two people at this event were drawn to me, and we got into these deep conversations about energy and the universe and etc. And I hadn't said a word. I was just sitting there listening to the guy going on about crypto, and they came to me and asked me questions, and I just kind of replied, yes, that's me. And so again, I think we're becoming more telepathic, we're becoming more magnetic is the word I would use. So just trust yourself. It really comes down to, that inner work. So keep doing what you're doing.
Fair play. Well, we've got Licht in the house now. Fair play to Licht, because he's signed up to the Jedi Training Academy and is about to go through a process. And Altug and Lindsay will know exactly what lies ahead for him. And Altug says, "Good afternoon, Licht." So fair play. And Lindsay has said it's very challenging to stay in a positive thought pattern at times. I have to work hard at it, music, walking, anything to shake the negative vibes. Well, you know the score, Lindsay. I mean, it's certainly brutal. The wake-up process is brutal. And you know it now, because you've been through the Jedi Training Academy, and you've seen the progress that you've made, and it's not all sweetness and light. That's another thing that we talk about, and we're very open about, that sometimes you've got to get lower to get higher. It's a bit like play your cards right back in the day for people in the UK of our generation. I'll go lower. No, now we'll go higher. It is an undulating journey. It's not all sweetness and light, my Jedi friends. So, and Altug says Chat GPT and history tells me that when people start feeling such vibes, then civilization collapses and good things come. Will it be like this again? Well, we can go back as far as you want in history, Altug, and you'll know I'm a history buff myself. All we do is repeat the same pattern. It is just the same pattern throughout history. Some bigger, harder tribe appears and they take over and they treat everyone like shit. And then they sustain themselves for a bit, and then someone bigger and badder comes along and replaces them. And that is just the way that it works. When enough corruption and complacency slip in, then they get off. They lose their A game, and someone else takes over. Someone else takes over. I think that's a good point you make there, Amanda. Facing yourself is one of the hardest things to do, but it totally pays off. And that really is. It really is. You've got to face yourself. You've got to face your own demons. You've got to do the inner work. There's no point trying to change everything externally if you haven't done the stuff inside as well. So Lindsay says, best of luck, Licht. She knows exactly what lies ahead for him. Tammy says, okay, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about manifesting. Well, this is Amanda's specialist subject, so I shall give her I shall give her the floor to talk about that one, Tammy.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm sitting in a house that's about 8 minutes from a beach. And in 2002, I was in the other side of Mexico, Ensenada, and I just ended my 8-year relationship. And I was just reassessing everything. And I sat down and I thought, what would be cool to have? And so I wrote 7 pages of what I wanted my life to look like. And I went, it'd be nice to have a beach house, a nice husband, maybe a couple of children. And I do some work in the morning till maybe 1. And then Maria, our housekeeper, comes and cleans and does some cooking. And then the afternoon, I'm just with the kids and we hang out on the beach and life is good. And then 23 years later, that's exactly what I'm doing. I just wrote it down and I really went into my heart, that feeling of fulfillment. I wrote it and then I put it away somewhere and completely forgot about it. And then I found it about 5 years ago and took it to my husband, went, read this. I wrote this in 2002. And he was like, oh my God. And pretty much we have that life. At that time, I wasn't sure if I wanted children, but the universe graced me with 2. And so for me, it's always been a process of playing with possibility and connecting with that feeling of deserving and that it's done. And I'm old school. I like to write everything down. There's something magical, and I've done this with clients as well. When you take it you visualize it in your head, you have the visualization, you write it down, you connect pen to paper, not typing it up on a computer. You type it up. Then you create that image, you send it out. But the biggest thing the secret for me is to having no attachment to that end thing. I have clients who go, I want to get pregnant, want to get pregnant, want to get pregnant. And they're so attached to the outcome, they're blocking it. And I know you know this consciously. It's so difficult as a human being to let go and surrender. And that's been my biggest lesson. Just freaking let go. When you let go of the outcome, it comes. Even with my daughter, wouldn't it be nice to have a nice phone? And then she forgot about it. That was the thought she put out. And 2 weeks later, her old phone gets stolen. Luckily, it was 2 years old. It wasn't brand new. And she gets a new phone because she's a YouTuber. She's got to be on there. So I had to get her a new phone. So the more that I have no attachment to the outcome. Okay, so. Okay, thanks, Temmie. Sorry, Pink Princess. Yeah, by the whole looking up at the stars. Yeah, but yeah, you're at least seeing the stars. You can see the stars. If you can see the stars, then you can get to the stars. The other thing, for those of you that are looking for love, you're going to laugh at this. I can't remember if I've told this story before. At the same time, in that youth hostel in Mexico, I wrote a list of 250 things that I wanted my next partner to be, because I'd had a rough time for 8 years. I just wasn't happy in that 8 years. And I wrote down, this is what he needs to be. He needs to be funny. He likes Star Wars. That was on my list, people. He liked Star Wars. He had to like Star Wars, or there was no go. He's a great cook. He's traveled. He speaks languages. He's hot. And I went on for like 250 things in the present tense. My husband is 248 things on that list. And he showed up 18 months after I wrote that list. I wrote it, shoved it somewhere, didn't think about it. And the night I met him, I was so happy being single. The last thing I wanted is a relationship. He'd come out of a relationship, and the last thing he wanted was a relationship. Boom, we met, hit it off. Nothing happened the first time we met because I was with clients. But then the second time we met, he got me drunk on champagne. And 21 years later, the rest is history. But I had no attachment to that list. So for me, that's the biggest secret. You really think, I deserve this. This is what I want. Write it down and then forget about it. That's my biggest advice. We get too hung up on it. I'm poor. I need money. You're repelling everything. You just got to go, hey, money always finds me. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if I had like a couple of thousand just turn up for no reason? Write it down, forget about it. Play with it, okay? You are the masters of your universe. Play with it, make it a game. For those of you who are struggling again, make this a game. It's a hologram that you have around you, and everything you've manifested in your life right now is because you manifested it. So all you got to do is change that one thought. This is possible. Fair play. That's it.
So we'll thank you for that, Amanda. It's always good to get that. So pretty much write down what you want and then forget about it. There's the thing. So, Altug, I'm circling back to this comment. The reason that I'm circling back because I didn't think it was appropriate while we were talking about manifestation. So we shall circle back to your comment, my friend. Okay, I got you. So World War III will start and light workers will start shining. Green due to radiation. Well, you never know, my Jedi friend. And speaking of green due to radiation, look who's shown up. And it's new Yoda. Now, new Yoda's going to be green, and maybe we're going to be Grogu from the new Yodas. So there you go, Altug. How's that for a bit of synergy? You're talking about, are we going to be green for World War III, and new Yoda shows up? Well, I don't think I need to say any more than that, do I? There you go. There's your green. There's your green manifestation of the new war. We have new Yoda in the house. Happy days. It's happy days. So fair play. Fair play. Fair play. We're all Jedis. It is our job to manifest whatever reality we want to put out there. There's the point. There's the point. And we talked about this a lot as well. The whole thing about manifestation, it's about you taking responsibility for what you want and what you can change. I think a lot of the problems that empaths have is expectations of others. And when we start involving other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions in our master plan, that's when things start to go tragically wrong. So taking an empowered approach and dealing with the stuff that we can work from within is where it's at, which is exactly where manifestation comes in. So that is a great story about Frank. So what were the two things he didn't have? Let's go back to that. I mean, 248 is pretty good. I mean, you've got to give the man credit.
I threw in multimillionaire and very tall, and he's only this much taller than me. But when he puts his cowboy boots on, he's this much taller. He's still working on. I think if he puts his cowboy boots on, he's still working on that last one. I'm pretty sure within the next 12 months, something awesome's going to happen. So I'm just putting it out there that at some point we might have to stretch him a bit. We're going to make him 250 on that list.
Well, what we can do is when he's a multimillionaire, is get him the most massive pair of platform shoes, and then it's a home run, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly. It's so fun. I'm going to tell you an intimate, personal story about that, about appearances. Because the night that we met, he was wearing. They're not the pointy cowboy boots. They're the work cowboy boots, like the workers' ones. Really. They were quite high. So I thought he was taller when I met him. And also I was wearing a gel push-up bra. So we always joke that when we met, he was pretending to be tall and I was pretending to have large breasts. And so we were even on that front. And then 5 years later, large breasts manifested and I didn't need the gel push-up bra anymore. And still needs the cowboy boots. We're still stretching him. We always joke about that. So imagine our first night together, the boots come off, bra comes off. Oh, surprise.
Hang on, a few extra inches have been manifested.
All I'm going to say, people, is he's French and I am a very happy lady. That's all I'm going to say. No complaints.
Well, there you go. That is a pretty wonderful story. I mean, for Frank to have 248, and I think we got to give him a half for the platform for the cowboy boots as well.
I think we do. We can count him as tall.
Yeah. So I mean, it may have been a bit of false advertising, but I think we can give him a break here because Frank is an absolute diamond. I will say that we've had such a laugh when I've got together with Frank.
It's dangerous to leave you two alone.
Yeah, it really is. So, I mean, it's just a true blessing, isn't it? When one of your mates marries somebody that is just as much a mate now, peas from the same pod, as they say. Really, really good energy. He's a good energy. And,
he is. He didn't even know it. He's just a natural plugged-in person. He's just there naturally. He did a lot less work than me and just happened to plug in and be be all plugged in anyway. He's amazing. Naturally, spiritually connected.
It is fair play. Well, this has been an absolute blast, and we're probably going to wrap this up in a few minutes because I know Amanda's got to go and heal the world.
Another beautiful client coming in.
One person at a time, which is what she does. She's wonderful. So we're going to respect her time and give her some time to prepare. So we'll wrap this up in a couple of minutes. So if any of you've got any closing statements or questions or things you want to add or throw in the mix, or a few energetic hand grenades, the holy hand grenade of Antioch, if anyone's got that, you're very welcome to throw it in. But otherwise, we are going to sign off on this particular one, and we'll probably do another one. We'll probably do another one very soon when we get Amanda back, and she's going to be in the UK in 3 weeks. So we'll probably do a live when she's here from London and do all sorts of wacky things. So if anyone happens to be around in London
on the 12th. Thursday the 12th, I'll be in London with Adam, and we're thinking of doing some crazy stuff across London. We're not sure exactly what we're doing yet, but there will be some energetic healing and banter on that day. So Thursday the 12th, we will be in London. At the moment, I'm looking between kind of midday and 4 o'clock. That's when I'll be around, hanging in the energy of Adam. So we will watch this space, guys. I'm going to see if we can get some crowds and people from my tribe and some Adam tribe to get together and create some fireworks, some spiritual fireworks.
It sounds like a winner. We're looking forward to that. And Lindsay says, I enjoy your lives together. Look forward to it. Well, thanks, Lindsay. And, fair play to you for sharing all of your positive vibes from your body, mind and spirit experience. And I would just finish off by telling this little finale, because I know Lindsay won't mind me telling you. During the Jedi Training Academy, she was saying, people look like me, they're just not here. There's nobody here. My neighborhood's full of gangsters, blah, blah, blah. There's no one here. And then on the final week of the Jedi Training Academy, she suddenly piped in and said, oh, by the way, there's a Body, Mind and Spirit Festival just turned up. Which she's just come back from. So see how energy works? You never know what you can manifest. It is a strange but wacky world that we live in, my Jedi friends, and we have the power. We have the power to manifest what it is that we're looking for and have a bit of fun as we go. So Tammy says, thank you both for keeping it real as always. Thanks for joining us, Tammy. Always good to have you here, my Jedi friends. The usual Jedi tribe have all turned up. As ever, an absolute pleasure, my Jedi friends. We'll probably do another one on Monday or something like that. They're probably not going to let you know. I'm probably going to get shadow banned, but I don't really give a fuck. So there you go. I know that you will find your way here. You will find your way to my live stream.
And remember, your problems are solved. I have no problems. There are no problems here. There are no problems here. I'm not taking my problems seriously anymore because I have no problems. Okay? Play with it, guys. Okay, play with it. These are not the problems that you're looking for. Okay? Not the problems you're looking for. Okay?
Brilliant stuff.
Guys,
well, this has been fun. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for joining me. My Jedi friends, thank you for jumping on this thread. And as ever, for sharing and being part of the stream. It's always appreciated. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun. And we shall reconvene next week. We shall indeed. Okay.